FEPCast, we're back, baby. Look at
we're
Don
back.
America and get up there. Yeah, Don, as a Jewish man, has to extra America it up. Less tea.
No one's buying it, Don. Everyone's waking up.
We know what's happening, Bibby Jr.
What are you guys waking up to?
Bibby D.
We know.
Okay.
Oh, where were you on 9/11, Don? Huh? I didn't see you anywhere.
That's true. You didn't. I don't think we knew each other back then.
I think case closed.
You were just a wee lad in law school.
What are the odds? Don, you keep freezing, but I can hear you. Don, what are the odds that Don's been in sleeper selling us as a Mossad agent for years? Just like Howie, our former member, clearly a CIA asset since he had to stop doing the podcast.
You guys must know each other since you coordinate ops.
Oh, yeah.
It was also...
It was a perfect handoff, wasn't it? Howie leaves, Donnie comes. Whoa! What are the odds? What are the odds?
It was also my idea to watch American Dad.
Well, that was a great idea. We're not saying all Mossad ideas are bad. Just
no. Look, even if we're giving credit where credit's due, the Epstein idea they had seems to have worked out smashingly for them.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Yeah. Well, most of the ideas work out good. The ones that don't, you don't hear about them. They bury them.
Hey, Ari, these guys seem to like young girls. What do you think? Yeah. All right, Schmegel, let's do it. Works out.
Whatever floats your bagel. Or I guess whatever creams your bagel.
Whatever creams your bagel. Hey, welcome to the first episode podcast where we start off with political commentary about the Mossad and then get into some sweet reviews about TV shows.
Hello.
Well, I'm Brian. Rico is here.
I am here.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a podcast. Also, Rico, you have to.
Yeah.
And Rico dropped his mic into his lap.
I was just gonna sign the whole time.
Yeah, that's great. You don't even have to pretend that you know sign. And
if you're gonna sign, like when you guys notice those political.
Fake ones? Yes, or
no, it's like hilarious. All right, let's say like the mayor of a shitty town has to do a press conference.
Karen Bass of Los Angeles. Yeah,
perfect example.
Socialist mayor.
There's always somebody next to them doing sign language, and it looks like they're doing sign language for a child because they're always overly emphasizing the thing. They're like, and they're like, I'm sad.
Yeah, but again, remember, half of them don't know sign language, so they're actually just pretending. They're just miming. It's like,
it makes sense. You know, when you do sign language, you have to overly act the other things out so that they know what they're saying. Like, I was sad. And you're like, oh, he was really sad.
You know what? It makes sense though that most of the people that are signing on TV are just making it up, because how do you interview for the job? Wouldn't you have to interview with someone who knows sign language? But if you're interviewing with someone else who knows sign language, that person would just do the job to begin with.
If there's a deaf mute that interviews you, they know sign language, and you're signing, and the deaf mute's like signing to the people, like, he doesn't know. And you just go, yeah, don't listen to that.
I guess it's good. Yeah, all right.
I like go thumbs up. She's like, no. I'm like, that means yes in sign language.
In Rico's version, it's just two people that are like, they don't know sign language and they're doing stuff and they're just like,
it's a back and forth con. Yeah. Wow, they're both they're like, I won't blow your cover, you don't blow my cover.
The entire sign language industry is just one giant con.
It's gibberish. It's hand gibberish.
Who would know sign language? It's impossible. It's so quick and just there's no way. It's like Helen Keller learning to read.
And then the people, when they're sign languaging, they'll say 3 different words and they just do like one motion. They're like, I was doing stuff the other day and it was fascinating.
Everything is, I was fucking my neighbor.
I was fucking my next door neighbor.
Corey.
Neighbor is knock knock.
Two black guys vigorously signing to each other probably looks wicked from a cop's point of view. Probably.
That's why there were so many accidental shootings in the 90s.
Right.
He's going for a gun. The sign for hello. Have you gone to the store today? Is the guy put a pretend gun out of his pocket?
Putting a gun, his finger in his pocket.
Hello, officer is reaching
such a
your belt.
Misunderstanding.
There was a black
The ASL has got to get on that.
That they like taking notes, so they would always do notepad taking, but then at restaurants they would always get attacked because they would do this thing for the check. Yeah.
I like how that's universal in all countries. Have you ever gone to a country and done this and they don't know what you're talking about?
Never. No.
Yeah, Israel. Because you have to start from the right and go left. Oh, that's
pretty good.
Maybe. Thank you.
I did. You went there and you didn't even know it until you got to the restaurant, and you're like, "I need my bill," but I forgot they go this way.
I was like, "They're not coming. They're not coming." Oh, wait.
In Israel, where every tip is 4 cents.
I was doing the sign for glory hole. They're just like, "It's over there. Go over there."
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
All right.
Let's get into what we're talking about today, because this is highly top. Rarely do we actually have a show where we can be on the cutting edge of topical commentary, but Ironheart.
Oh, I thought you were going to say American Dad, because the Iraq quotes and references in there are kind of similar to what's happening
Actually,
now.
There were a lot of things.
Kind of funny. Yeah.
Comes full circle.
Exactly.
I guess we can talk. I don't care what we talk first.
All right, go for it.
Well, let's talk Ironheart first. I think people want to talk about Ironheart before American Dad, because this show is debuted to controversy. Number one, Marvel held this show like 2 or 3 years.
Oh,
it's been
really?
done 2 or 3 years. It's based off a comic book, by the way, that was very unpopular.
Like, I remember the comic.
Yeah, already canceled. And it's essentially a young black girl replacing Iron Man, and better, quote unquote, better than Iron Man in every way.
Yes.
So you can see how people were a little bit rubbed wrong. And
except
we'll
that
talk
she's
about
not Iron Man.
Yeah, in the show, she's not shy about saying it. And let's remember that at this point in time, in our timeline, Iron Man is dead. He's dead. They killed him off in the movies. He's no more.
Oh, I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Well, and I should mention
Iron Man 2.
It was 4 years ago.
She was featured heavily in the second Black Panther movie. That's when they introduced her.
Blacker Panther.
Yeah. In Blacker Panther, and then in
an alternate Black Panther with a white guy.
No, wouldn't it be Darker Panther?
They said it's going to be a white. Ryan Gosling's supposed to play the alternate Black Panther. Rico, move closer to your fucking mic.
No, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Why don't you slide your body over closer to your mic?
Yeah, and maybe take your shirt off too.
Yeah. Anyway, there is a rumor that Ryan Gosling will be like the white Black Panther, and obviously
Are they supposed to do a white Black Panther, or is he going to play like White Tiger?
No, he's going to play white Black Panther in an alternate universe, which I also think is stupid. It's stupid. It's like the Fantastic Four with the female Silver Surfer, which just the trailer for that has debuted, and
they can't even get one universe correct to entertain people. I don't know why they need to go into multiple universes to try to entertain people. They can't even get one fucking
bad Fantastic Four movies. Yeah, make a good Fantastic Four movie with the regular characters before you start screwing around with them.
Yeah, I don't need to get multiple shitty movies. Just keep it in one shitty timeline at least.
So back to Ironheart. So this movie, or this show, it's a series on Disney Plus, comes out. And Disney has held it because they made it at a time when Disney was leaning into the wokest, dumbest shit. And they're like, this is what we have to do. The message. So then culture started shifting. People started really getting upset and annoyed by this crap. So Disney held it for a couple of years. And now they finally are like, it's out. And we're proud of it. It's almost like
don't forget we made this to tell you people how to feel.
So this was filmed.
We're rich white people that make this stuff.
Oh, dude, this was filmed like 5 years ago.
I had no idea. I thought this would have been recent.
No, this was filmed like 5 years ago. They held it for 2 years, and honestly, you would have thought that they filmed it 20 years ago because the lead chick who plays Riri Williams looks like she is 45 if she's a day. I mean, I've never seen a lead actress that's supposed to be young look older. She looks like Medea.
You know, she doesn't have those saggy giant black boobs yet, though. So
no, I mean, from the neck down, she looks like a young lady. from the neck up, she looks like a combination of Gollum from Lord of the Rings and I don't know. I said a 50-year-old black hairdresser. Like she's the oldest looking face I've ever seen on a young woman. It's crazy.
She
so
looks
old.
just as old as the person playing her mom in the scene where she's talking to her mom.
Her mom looks younger than her.
Yeah.
By
I
far.
didn't even pick this up, but I was barely paying attention.
Let me show you.
You need to explain the beginning of this show to me because I didn't understand it.
Okay, so which by the way, part and parcel of why this is not a good show. Yes, yeah, it has to be explained because the show starts off with it's like, all right, here's the show, and it's a crazy flashback.
I wonder if this show was supposed to come out like before the Black Panther movie too, to like kind of introduce this woman.
No, because she got her intro. Here's Riri Williams. Here's old face McGillicuddy. Look how old she looks. Old as shit. And that's not even the worst picture. I can find worse ones, but I don't want to waste my time.
I will, yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
Oldest head ever.
Limited.
Anyway, so the show starts off, and I know she was in Black Panther 2, so they wanted to roll out of Black Panther 2. But when did Black Panther 2 come out?
Like at least 3 years ago, dude. It's old. I think it's
longer than that.
It's like a COVID, pre-COVID, maybe.
Pre-COVID was Black Panther 2. Back when I mean the guy was still alive. The guy who died from cancer.
But no, he had just died because he wasn't in Black Panther
2 came out in 2022.
All right, dude. That's like height of COVID. That's a while.
Height of COVID is 2020.
Interesting. I thought it was earlier than that. Well, it's already forgotten in our cultural lexicon. But they filmed this show to come out right after Black Panther. But it was so bad, reportedly, that they held it. And you can see why. Because opening scene of this show is a mishmash of just confusing garbage. It's like, okay, cut scenes of Riri, the old face chick, and her attractive, let's just say ghetto sister, going, we got to be the best, number one. Screw Tony Stark. He's the worst. We're going to be world changers. And you're just like, what is happening?
Yeah, that was a little odd. I don't even know what they were up to. Are they like at a science fair, or they are just excited about science? It's just kind of odd.
Influencing.
Yeah. So I guess it's maybe that was what they did to try to make it seem like she was not that old. That she was still most
like, hey, we got a problem. You are never gonna buy this.
We're gonna have to get her in some roller skates. Get her in some roller skates ASAP. All right, so Rico, you had a problem with that scene.
Well, it was dumb. Okay, and I didn't understand what was going on. And then she gets kicked out of MIT for what reason? Was she like plagiarizing, like helping other people cheat?
No.
No, that was it. Yeah, she was making science experiments and selling them. That's how she was sustaining herself to build her iron.
But you guys are skipping over something.
Or against
you guys are skipping over something. All right, yeah, she gets kicked out of MIT, but she's been going to MIT, right? This super smart chick, and at this point, we don't know. We see these flashbacks that she's upset by them, but whatever. She's at MIT. We see her plugging shit in and working, saying that she's the best thing in the world. It starts off with her telling us that she's the best thing in the world. It continues with us telling us she's the best thing in the world. And then she screws shit up, blows up the lab. They're like, you got to go. She's like, I can't believe this is happening. Yeah. I don't. And they go, well, you know, you gotta hit the road, Jack. And she's like, I can't believe this is happening to me. And then the entire time, by the way, Riri is bitched about Tony Stark leading into this, saying that Tony Stark, Iron Man, was not all that shit because he had billions of dollars at his disposal. Now, let's not forget, Tony Stark, yes, grew up with billions of dollars, but made the Iron Man suit in a cave.
Yeah.
During
Afghanistan or something?
In Afghanistan. While he was trapped in a cave.
And he had like particles in his heart that were going to kill him. Once he died, he stuck to this magnet thing to keep them from going to his bloodstream. And he made it out of like goat milk.
Right. So
Yeah.
Riri
And
Williams.
hooves.
But remember, Riri Williams thinks Tony Stark is only who he is because of that. She forgets that that entire Genesis story doesn't matter. And let's not forget that really she's bitching about not having money or resources. She was at MIT on a Tony Stark scholarship for 4 fucking years.
That probably comes
And-
with like
and-
the best
and wasn't
food
able to
program and the nicest
Free dorms,
apartment.
free,
Yeah. Yeah.
free scholarship, free
You're on the nice
resources.
one.
All
like
the
first
resources
class.
you could want. Tell me what resources Tony Stark is going to have that MIT is not going to provide you if you're
Yeah.
researching these suits. And also, by
They
the way,
get a summer internship anywhere to make some money.
yeah,
Probably pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
You know what was a
fairly simple.
disappointing scene is
Wait.
when-
Before you go on that, let me just make this point too. After 4 fucking years, she's still bitching and complaining about Tony Stark, who made Iron Man the original suit in a cave in what, couple weeks? 4 years, still hasn't made a goddamn suit that works as well as Iron Man's suit. And she's like, I can't believe this shit. I need to hide. What do you need? What opportunity do you need? You had 4 fucking years.
Well, I mean, it's not easy to make an Iron Man suit. I mean, come on.
If she's supposedly so goddamn smart, should be able to
I
do it by
guess,
then.
we're gonna find out. She has a suit that flies. It's pretty cool. I just don't know if she has the weapons technology that the Stark Industries had. She doesn't know how to make lasers and all sorts of cool explosions. She just knows how to
doesn't
build a flight suit.
all you have to do is reverse engineer. The Chinese could do that in 2 weeks.
Exactly. Sorry, Rico. Is
Chinese.
Oh,
Is
well,
your
there's
scene
many
you're talking
scenes
about,
that were
does
dumb.
it involve
Okay.
her leaving MIT? Because I want to go in sequential order.
Yes, it's her leaving MIT, and
Okay.
it's not anything of relevance, but the principal from Community was one of the people who was like, kick her out. And I'm
was
like,
right.
oh, cool. I like this guy. He's funny. That was his only scene. I'm like, what
That
the
was
fuck,
it.
man? What are you wasting your talent on this crap for?
Well, it was
I thought
just
you were
one
gonna
day
say
of shooting. He probably got a nice lunch from Disney.
Well, I thought you were going to say that the other thing that pissed me off. So they kick her out, and MIT has spent all these millions of dollars because she's built a suit that doesn't work that well. Apparently, she's built a suit, and she's like, "All right, well, after giving me free room and board and funding and materials and kindness and belief for 4 years, I'm stealing this suit." Wow,
Yeah.
what a likable lady. And she flies out of the goddamn school with the suit.
Yeah. She does fly out of there with the suit, and then the suit like falls apart, which is annoying because you think after all this time of her building the suit, we know what Iron Man is supposed to do.
Well, the school turned it off, which is hilarious, which is what they should do.
Well, and she was already though she built a
In
suit
midair.
in Black Panther 2 and was able to help, fight that battle. But she can't build a suit that can fly from where are they? In Boston?
Well, Massachusetts. I'm guessing MIT is in
Massachusetts to Chicago. She
Also,
can't
if you're this
her-
super
I'm not to
genius,
get in there, but I can guess.
if you're this super genius, you're writing all the software for your super suit, right? You're the genius. Did you put a back door in your own suit that the school could just flick to fucking turn it off?
Yeah,
That
there's
seems
Look at that.
pretty stupid.
maybe when in 20
Mundane details, Michael.
yeah, what did they think? Like in those old days that AI would be tethered to a
Like,
school or something? You couldn't just have your own operating system
Exactly.
in a flight program in your machine.
she wrote the whole thing. She wrote the whole AI.
Yeah,
You
it was
put
kind
the
of
back
goofy.
door in for the school to turn your own suit off. You didn't
Maybe they're
know
To
that
try
they
to
could turn
teach,
your-
yeah.
Like, this is so stupid. It's so stupid.
It sounds
that-
like the government's dream is to have AI run by them or the school, and then we'll just turn it off if we don't like what you're up to. 'cause
Well,
that's
what would have been great if they cut back to the
big
bald guy from
MIT
Community.
does.
if they come back to the bald guy from Community, who hilariously also wrote like a Academy Award winning script with another goofball that was a very serious movie. Yes,
I was gonna say, did he win an Academy Award for
I'll
Community?
Google it. I'll finish this and I'll Google it. I'll Google it because you'll never believe it. It's unbelievable. These guys wrote like The House of Sand and Fog or something.
I remember I liked Community. I don't remember it was that good.
No, but it would have been so funny if Riri Williams, like when they turned off her fucking suit, if they just cut back to the bald guy going,
Yeah. And it's funny how when she first logged into her suit, I go, oh, she won't be able to log in when they ask for the student ID because she's been expelled. And then she's able to log in, and then halfway through her flight, it dies. So I thought, I was like, well, this is stupid.
You know, as a person who has run
the
afoul of
The Descendants, he and this other
one?
crazy.
Isn't that like a weird
Disney?
Disney show also?
No, it is. But go ahead, Rico.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I was going to say, as a person who may have had interactions with
Black geniuses,
the upper echelon of universities, behavioral concerns, and as did Brian, actually.
Facts. These are facts.
We didn't get called into the office for this. We just got some nice letters in the mail. They don't call you to the office to kick you out.
Oh,
like,
that scene was so annoying, by the way. The I don't know, I don't even know who she was. The dean, black lady. She goes, hey,
Dean Black Lady, we meet again.
Dean Blackington. She goes like this. So Riri Williams goes, I'm so smart. I shouldn't have to do classes because the teacher, the principal or dean is like, hey, you disrespect your teachers. You don't do any classwork. And she's like, I shouldn't have to. I'm smarter than them. I teach them the lessons. Why should I have to do this crap? Like, okay, well, that's obnoxious. And then the dean goes, look, I work hard to get people like us into these positions.
Yeah, I thought you meant scientists.
Like us. No, she meant black people.
She
very specifically meant black people. She very specifically meant black people, which was very annoying. But then I like this. She goes, you're expelled. And then goes, is there anything you'd like to say?
Why?
I'm already expelled. What?
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
Eat my black twat. Like,
do you know any good restaurants? Like, what do you want me to
I've always
tell
envied your chowder recipe.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, it's such stupid writing. They're showing such stupid writing. Anything to say. Yeah, suck my cunt. Like, what the fuck? What are you possibly going to say?
Yeah. Oh, thank you for firing me.
Yes. Well, and then did you notice something when she got home?
This is part of my journey.
Chicago after being expelled from MIT.
Yeah.
Like if I was expelled from MIT and then I went home and had to see my mother in the kitchen, she'd probably be a little mad at me.
You'd think.
You're like, what the fuck? You know? Not, oh, hi. I had a janitor keep an eye on you. Well, I guess that janitor didn't do a very fucking good job. Get your money back.
He was too busy molesting the slow children.
I know. You think the janitor's like,
I would have told you sooner, but I had 2 fingers and a slow girl between periods.
I hired a homeless guy
keep a tab on your genius daughter.
Well, hopefully her weekly reports. That'd be a show. I want to see the weekly reports from the janitor. Hello, lady. A girl of you went to bathroom, ate food, send money. Yeah.
John,
Okay.
can you make that show? We'll do it.
Yeah. I'm working on an AI that will do everything that I could do that I refuse to. So.
All right, let's do it. That sounds great. We should make that show. We should make Riri Williams Janitor Spy the series and put it on TikTok. I guarantee we'll make millions. That's so
that could just
funny.
be a reoccurring show of janitors that are asked to spy on kids by their parents at various places, and then janitors have to pretend they're cleaning, spying on kids.
I mean, trying to type an email.
Yeah,
like
actually,
putting a letter into the computer.
It's using the mop handle to type.
I think I'm gonna try to get that job because I was gonna do, a new job, but now I don't want that. I don't want that job.
So she's at MIT. Did her mom just know a janitor at MIT, or was she like, I've got to do a lot of research into these janitors at MIT.
We're gonna start the janitor spy network.
And I'll settle on one of the two to watch my daughter. Like, what kind of a retarded premise is that?
If you're a super genius, you would notice a janitor following you everywhere too.
Hey, how does he know you get kicked out? How would a janitor know you got expelled?
And if you're a super genius,
I went through a crash.
The super genius would be like, "Hey janitor, you've cleaned this room 7 times today. I don't think it needs to be cleaned any more times." I'm not very smart, but I still think this room's
smarted by a janitor.
Pretty clean.
That's so stupid.
No man, I gotta come back 7 times every hour, clean the room, call your mom.
All right. So anyway, moving on.
All right.
We meet.
What was the writer's table? No one expressed any of these concerns about how dumb this is.
I don't think there was a writer's table. For
all
this.
the writers were like, the janitor's white. Yeah, good.
If the janitors are unanimous, or the writers are unanimous on the janitor point of view.
I hired a white janitor to keep an eye on you and call me.
So wait, moving on. So I think the guy who wrote the comic or the director wrote the whole script, by the way. But
good for him.
We meet the other crew, right? So this crew, and this is what's so fucking hilarious about the show, and you can see why they held it because culture was changing and people were sick of this shit. We meet the crew of
the ragtag
heisters,
bunch.
the ragtag heist crew of Hood Guy, which is Eric Andre.
Yeah, Eric Andre's the
trans chick who is trans masculine. I saw something. It should have been a view. She's a trans masculine woman who is very ugly.
What does that mean? Trans masculine.
You saw her in the show.
Are you talking about that dude with all the face clown makeup on?
No, it was.
I think that was a guy.
No, there was a guy that was a drag man.
Yeah, I saw that guy.
Gay drag queen. That's
what Marvel character is that guy?
A guy pretending to be a girl, pretending to be a guy.
Yes, they hired a drag queen who won like RuPaul's Drag Race, which is fine. I have no problem with drag. Great, but he's in the show as
no guy's gonna spend that much time putting makeup on. That seems like
apparently he's there. He's like I don't know a tech hack whatever, but he's very super like in your face for a reason, representation. He's in the show, but there's also this 2-girl crew who goes in. You meet the ragtag and they go in and steal some shit, and this 2-girl crew runs in, and it's 2 little ladies as always. Girl bossing, one of whom is a lady, one of whom is a lady but identifies as a trans man and looks ugly, who beat the crap out of these professional mercenaries, guards, whatever, that are twice their size.
Those 2 Asians in the fight sequence, that was a man and a woman being a man.
No, they were.
This show is complicated.
They were Latinas. Yeah. There's the black man who is the drag queen. These are both ladies that one of whom identifies as a man, but they're Latina. The really ugly woman is the man. Identifies as a man. Trans masculine.
Okay. I don't know. That gang is
How does
annoying.
that not make sense to you? How does that not make sense to you?
They're just they're
they
like
couldn't get
side
basic plot points.
characters. As this was when they were filling quotas, and like we gotta have every kind of
Yes.
rainbow under the sun.
Oh, yes, exactly. That's why they're in here. So
Oh my
they're
god,
shoved
it's a
into
nightmare.
this crew, this hacker crew.
How can
that
those people
hood
be
guy-
on a crew of misfits, criminals, when they need to spend their time getting people to know what they are on the line, which is the whole reason why we have
Okay.
to do this, is because they exist.
The leader, hood man, we don't say, what is it, hood guy. He's like, all right, you girls go in. She's like, I identify as a trans masculine. And he's like, we
he
missed
said that?
No, I'm saying that's what should happen.
Okay.
He's like, well,
God.
we missed the window.
Window's gone.
I mean, maybe they should have
heist is
kept this
off.
on the
Heist is
shelf.
off.
Honestly, this show didn't need to be made. This is pretty.
Well, yes, exactly. That's what
They're ruining a good robot special effects, because that was the only good part of the show, was the suit.
There was a good part to the show.
There was. I thought the suit also sucked. So anyway, so we see this crew. They rob something or other. Whatever. Ironheart, Riri Williams flies back in her stolen suit from MIT with no regrets and feels entitled to steal the millions of dollars of software and hardware. Then crashes because she apparently didn't know they put a back door in her own suit to turn it off. She walks back to her mom's house. Her mom, as Rico said, is like, oh, girl, hello. And then they do a whole stupid scene with like a ladies' barber shop and crystals, which was stupid. Then this guy comes in who knew her, and he's like, let's get out of here, girl. And then there's kind of like some flashbacks with her dad, who we know gets killed. I don't think we ever saw the murder in the first episode, right?
They kind of they allude to it, because she had memories of the sister and the dad in the garage. And then she's like, she hears gunshots, like maybe something goes down in the garage.
And to be clear, this is all very boring. Yeah. I mean, I can't emphasize how boring the flashback scenes were, and how honestly cliche and tiresome the entire setup of her character was. Like, we'll talk about American Dad in a little bit. And American Dad summed up an alien character and the backstory of that alien character subtly and succinctly very well, compared to this show that wasted our time and bored the shit out of us without actually revealing anything.
Yeah. And I wonder why her sister and dad died, if it was because they just lived
at all
in a shitty part of town.
They get shot. The only realistic thing about this show is people in Chicago getting shot.
And then
go to a White Sox game.
I don't get the whole idea of this show. Is like, okay, so here's how it is. It's shitty, and people get shot and they die. But then we get robot suits, and then it saves society. And then we have a trans guy.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
It's all over the place.
I made this note. Iron Man, he had a goal, right? Okay, he works for weapons manufacturer. It's evil, but he wants to do good. He wants to save people, help people. Everything in Riri Williams' character is, I want to be great. Me. I want to be better than Tony Stark. I want to prove myself. I want to be the best. She's so hateable and she's not doing anything for the greater good. It's all about her fucking ego and her being the best, and her, like, she's so shitty. Like, I hate everything about her.
She acts like
qualities to her.
She acts like the people that are responsible for her dad and sister dying, that just think they're the best and they should be able to putz around the globe shooting people and doing whatever they want. It's a very odd story that they're trying to tell us. It's like, oh, we should be sad that they live in this setting, but all you do is act, you perpetuate the selfishness and the meanness. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of silly.
To go to the scene where she meets this clan or the ragtag bunch, like, the guy's like, do you want a job or a purpose? I don't even remember it because I don't.
Yeah.
And so he's never quite clear, what exactly she's doing. And for the initiation, he gives her a challenge that if she fails, she'll die. And I'm kind of surprised. And I'm like, well, that's a weird. Like, if you know that going in, you're like, to me, maybe I wasn't paying attention. She didn't know who this person was. It's just like, oh, it's kind of like a job interview. So
more examples of how dumb she is.
I'm not going to expect to be put into an elevator with lethal gas being leaked out any moment, and I have to avert death in 30 seconds. I was like, that's a weird setup to this gig. Like, oh, if you fail, you're dead.
I'm not working for a fat guy who eats a lot of bad food.
Job or something.
Well, Rico, he gave her money at the end, but also I love that she, and other people have pointed this out, she's like, I'll get out of this. And she gets a wire and then bites a live wire. And I know she's biting the plastic off of it, but still, why would you bite a live electrical wire to rewire something?
Well, it could have been it could have been the negative. It might not.
No, it's not, because she then touched them together. But regardless,
I
also love
the hot wire.
How bad the writing is in the show. They start to gas her, and she goes, "This is illegal." What a great line! What a valuable thing.
Shut it down. We didn't think of this. Hit the button.
Why would you put that in a fucking TV show? Hey, do you guys know this is illegal? No shit, bitch. No shit. Why would you put that in a show? It's a waste of a line. It made me so angry and insane.
How about when she escaped the elevator? Did that render the gas no longer lethal? Because then it went out into
I guess it dissipated into the air.
Yeah, it's only lethal if it's in very confined spaces.
You only have mild irritation and mild blindness.
If everyone's breathing it, it's a high.
It was fake gas. You were safe the whole time.
They didn't say that.
Fake Hitler. Yeah, fake Hitler.
It was so tough. It didn't seem that hard to get out. Honestly,
she just pried the elevator doors open.
Yeah,
I don't think she needed to do anything.
She didn't diffuse
the emergency button and open the door.
Yeah, right. Thank you. She didn't diffuse the bomb or anything. She literally used a pry bar to open the door.
That's
not a genius move. That's brute strength and using leverage.
This show is so weird, and when you said that it was 3 years old, it all just makes so much more sense now, because it's not even entertaining. It's just like scolding.
Yeah,
that's sad. I know you're going to tell us you watched all the episodes. So
I will probably. I gotta say, I do know what happens to this crew. I mean, honestly, it's kind of weird. It's like, what do they want with it? They got 3 jobs to do. And then what's going to happen? Like, is this guy going to summon Satan? I don't know. Who is this weird Mexican dude or Puerto Rican, whatever he is, because he lives in Chicago?
He's black. He's supposed to be black.
No, the villain, the main guy with the tattoos.
He's light black.
No, he's not black. He's like a Latino dude. I've seen him in other movies. He's totally Latino. The one, the hood guy.
Tattoos on scars.
Also, how terrible is the...
And then he unlocked a vault. Wait. He unlocked the vault. This thing was so stupid. He opens the vault to put his leather jacket away.
Yeah,
and
what's up with this stupid leather jacket?
I'll tell you what. Were you guys as entranced as I was by what possible reason that leather jacket could be in the vault?
I probably could already figure it out, but it's probably... He's probably supposed to represent a real Marvel villain, but it's just some stupid Disney version of it.
Well, do you want to hear my theory?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The hood is made of Jewish children's foreskins, and you got to keep them things moist if you're going to keep the jacket primo.
So he's got like a foreskin humidor. You're saying that he keeps it in right, and so he can only take it out for a certain amount of time, or the foreskin's going to harden. But he has to put it back in the humidor. Yeah, all right. And all the little dick holes.
When he
in
rides
it.
on Riri Williams in the sky, all the foreskins are gonna fly off.
I mean, I gotta say, could be, who knows? could be something. Could be something.
He's like, go down under the Bronx. I'm giving them back
mean,
to the children.
Moisture is the enemy of the crotch. So
That's the goal. That's the goal. The foreskin's gonna fly off his foreskin coat and
That's
go
it.
back onto the
Not a lot of superpowers coming from foreskin unless hypersensitivity is his thing. He wants to be touched and come instantly. That's why he wants all the foreskin.
Who does
it all. Dear Genie, what lamp can I rub?
Can I get my sensitivity back, please? I've been in a wet dream in 20 years.
I've never had a wet dream. Have you guys had a wet dream?
I think I've had one. Like,
really?
Yeah, like you have it as
You have?
If you just don't jack off for like a long time,
off like 5 times a day.
Dude, no. Even when I was a youngin', I've never had a.
I think I've had it one time,
dream.
and you don't even know it's happening. You just go, "Oh, I had a dream about women, like I always do," and then you go.
I feel like you guys
"Oh,
are much worse at
dreamed a
sex than
little."
I am. Like you're both insta-cummers. I feel like if you have wet dreams, like you're not good at regular sex because you come too fast.
How would you know? You've never had one.
Yeah,
I'm just
your
theorizing.
theory is dumb. You just go a couple weeks and try not jerking off or having sex and see what happens.
Yeah, I think
I just had to do that. I had hernia
Yeah.
surgery. It was painful to masturbate. We talked about this.
And I think
Couldn't
And
do
then
it.
we get
You
to
know
talk
what?
about it again.
I woke up with massive boners.
yeah.
Okay, I'm done with this conversation.
Also,
But
could be
no
though.
way-
It's you got to be younger. It's like it's. I think your body does them to make room for the new sperm that's being manufactured. At this advanced age, your body's probably not cranking out the swimmers like it used
Buddy,
to. So there's
really
no need
chat on
to.
the kids at 76. I think you're off base. All right. Well, anyway, whatever. What do you give Ironheart? This was all. Oh, wait, we forgot the end. Spoilers. Spoilers. So
Spoiler
Riri,
alarm.
she the ragtag crew of foreskin hoods and trans and drag queens, and also Eric Andre.
Actually, the
offer her a
foreskin now
job.
makes a lot of sense with that sex crew he's hanging out with.
That's what I'm saying. So they offer her a job and they give her money, but they say, you got to get this iron suit to us for tomorrow for a job, a Robin job.
Yeah. Don't you want to see what she's going to do? She's going to break the law.
No.
Oh, no, I don't. But thank you, Rico. I don't. But she stays up all night to sync up her brain to her new suit she made by stealing shit and ruining her mother's house.
Yeah.
So she stays up all night, falls asleep because her brain sync takes 4 hours, and dreams of her sister, who, look, not to beat around the bush, is a ghetto bee. Cute, but a ghetto bee.
Also, those are exactly how my wet dreams went.
Perfect. But you don't have an iron suit.
I dreamed about a ghetto bee.
Don's just coming an Iron Man suit
She
made
called
out
me
Damn an iron suit after he didn't change his underwear all day.
She'd call me Grandmaster B.
Smegma Man.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway,
We would
Smegma
eat fried
regardless,
chicken and barbecue.
Riri falls asleep and has a dream about her sister, the same shitty flashback we saw 18 times in this fucking episode, and wakes up. And her AI, her new AI for her new suit is her ghetto ass annoying sister.
Yeah, it also projects it like it's a ghost. Now we're in the world of Dexter.
Yeah, I like how she somehow her AI upgraded by accident by using her mom's coffee pot. Now it projects a hologram version of her sister. So that makes perfect sense.
What's gonna happen? It's gonna be an M. Night Shyamalan ending where she wasn't there at all. It was all in her mind. Oh.
Well, I guess you'll know after you watch the series.
I will watch them all just like I watched the Daredevil because there is nothing else to watch in the world.
There's so much things to watch.
All right, let's do a sidebar. What
we still
other
talk about American
shows?
Dad.
All right,
Sidebar.
before that though, what other shows are you watching? That
we're not talking about this right now.
Well, it could be part of a show. Could be a new segment. All we need is a
It
graphic.
could be, but we're 45 minutes in, and
What
we still
are
have
you
a whole other show to
watching?
talk about.
We
still
know we
have a
never
whole other
talked about 2.5 Men.
I know. We'll get back to that. Guys,
Anyway,
we will get back to
this
2.5 Men, I promise you.
this is an F.
Next episode.
Time warp.
Can we agree? It's an F.
F.
An F.
Unanimous.
And yet you're still going to watch the rest of them. God, Don, I hate you so much.
That's fine. You need a. I am the trans black on this show that you are supposed to hate. Yeah, a character that makes no sense other than a piss off, Brian.
You do not make it. It's true. Your character does not make any sense.
Yeah,
if I wrote your character into a screenplay, they'd be like, "This fucking idiot."
Do they know how mean criminals are?
He has no logical reason. He has no character arc. He's the same dumb shit every episode.
Oh yeah, what's he gonna do? Go to jail after he gets caught doing crime? How's that gonna go for him? I don't think it's gonna go good for his butthole.
His only character arc is now he's in a weird bedroom with weird, bizarre, tiny bed and a backward hat.
What happened? We never got to the answer at the bottom of this.
Yeah, why are you in this weird,
are you in a clubhouse?
Bedroom?
Oh, me?
Did your wife
the same
kick you
room?
to
It's just a different angle. No, it's just right here. See,
the last angle people see.
The
last angle many women in Virginia see.
All I gotta do is take those curtains, tie them together, bust that window open, throw them out, and I'm out. That's fine.
Escape?
Yeah, I'll be good.
All right. Well, I hope our audience. I'm gonna repost this as escape video.
Oh yeah, I think that's how they got out of a prison recently.
The New Orleans crew.
Why would I want to escape this room?
Prison.
I got everything I want. I got cups and flags,
straws.
I got straws. I got cans. Oh man, this can's empty.
Is that Sapporo can?
No, it's actually a Paloma.
No, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. How you guys doing? What are you guys sipping on? Anything good?
Vodka.
I'm not drinking, so
for like the year or until your kid reaches
a certain age. For the show.
Oh, what's the matter with you? Are you too good? What do you think? You're better than us? You're not having a drink? You think you're better than us?
I'm gonna get really drunk because then I'll just pee all night.
Not if you drink hard liquor. That's your problem. You don't drink hard liquor. You're a beer pussy. You're a fucking fruity drink drunk.
What? Yeah, you're a fruity drink drunk. Yeah, you.
I need all. Rico likes whiskey sours, which are delicious. You turned me on to the whiskey sours.
Oh, I love a whiskey.
They're full of ice. You're full of ice.
Yeah, well, and deliciousness. It's cold.
Rico. I'm Rico. I drink beer. I can't drink.
That's what
whiskey.
I say.
Rico.
That's what I sound like.
Where's your keg, man? Let's go.
My wife drinks dirty martinis now. My wife. And you don't
drink dirty martinis. Put up with you. So, of course, she has to hit the liquor as hard as possible. She's going to start
making long enough.
My wife drinks roofies now.
She walks in the
door. My wife's popping roofies like candy.
All right, moving on. American Dad.
All right. We got 10 minutes.
Rico, lead us in to American Dad.
Well, I
good morning.
I think politics has come full circle because when was this show first come out? Like 2005, maybe? So we're right in the middle of the GW run.
Yeah, George W.
So
Iraq.
Iraq. A super paranoid.
2005. Yeah.
Nice.
So what's kind of funny is at the start of each episode, at least the first season, they would pick up a newspaper in the intro, kind of like The Simpsons, where it would change, or with the couch with The Simpsons, but the newspaper would change with American Dad in the opening. And the headline for the first episode was on the newspaper was like Democrat Party missing, feared dead, or something like that. And it's like, wow. If you think about the cycles since 2005, like, oh, the Democrats were dead, and then the Republicans were dead, and then the Democrats were dead, and the Republicans, and now we're back to the Democrats are dead. Yep. And it's amazing how politics works. And they're talking about war with Iraq, and now it's 20 years later, it's war with Iran, all because of Don's brethren, of course, leading us into war. But that's another point, another show.
Well, Don knows Bibby so well, he calls him Diddy.
The freak-offs are out of this world, let me tell you.
By the way, not to go off too far, do you believe like they just dropped certain charges against Diddy? Do you think it's because
they dropped them, or
they dropped some? But do you think it's because something really shitty is going to go down?
I think if they drop charges because they don't think they
can
get them.
The case is as strong as they're putting it out in the media.
Yeah, they're going for less charges.
Cross-examination of the witnesses, like that Cassie Ventura is like, the defense is showing texts like the day after she was sexually assaulted, texting Diddy like how much she loves him. It's like, all right, well, there's a lot of cutting against what you said before.
Who brought these charges against Diddy? Are these like state charges?
His daughter.
Or they're like federal charges?
Well, it's racketeering, sex trafficking, whatever, but they dropped half of them. Anyway, we get off the point. Sorry. Get back to American Dad.
All right, go ahead.
So American Dad. Yes.
So the setup is, I think, beginning of the episode, Steve, the little kid, comes in. He's a super nerd, and he's already getting into it with his sister, a super liberal, which is great because Stan's obviously a GW conservative, shooting a toaster when he gets startled.
Which is, at the time, the divide of politics was not nearly as thorough as it is now, where now people are foaming at the mouth to hate each other. Back then, nobody hated each other. It wasn't the same.
I mean, 2005, that's 2 years after Iraq. So there was a pretty big divide back then. The liberals were very anti-war, and they were calling out Bush. And then you had the conservatives who were supporting him and like, oh, the terror. And even in the episode, Stan's like, terrorist level alert has been raised to orange on his like refrigerator. Do they still have those in airports? I don't know.
I don't think so.
No,
it wasn't. This is like right at the same time, like the South Park episode where I'm a little more country and rock and roll. Back for like half American roots for peace, half roots for war, right? I think it's about the same time.
Yeah. So it seemed pretty divided at the time. Now it's just everything's amplified because of nut jobs get their platforms. But I think at the time it seemed very divided too.
Maybe it just seems like it more now because of how everything is
you got
compounded. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was still divided equally, but it was just how funny things swapped because the left was anti-war. Now the right's anti-war, or was before this Iran-Israel bullshit. And it just flip-flops because under Obama, the left abandoned anti-war shit. Not to go in politics. We'll get back to the show, but it flip-flops. And American Dad has been a continuous show throughout. But what I'll say about American Dad is like it started out with very much kind of a cliche approach, I think, of Stan, who's a conservative Bush supporter, right? And Bush is in this episode.
Yeah.
And Haley the hippie, and then Steve the nerd. And I'll say this as a longtime fan of the show. Quick backstory. I know one of the original writers on the staff, Matt McKenna, and his brother, I don't know his brother Chris McKenna, but I went to the premiere at Matt McKenna's house, one of the guys who worked on the show. He didn't write the pilot. I hated the pilot. Hated it. I still hate it.
I thought it was good.
I didn't hate it. It's not as good as it became, but I certainly liked the kind of the characters, like how they were set up right away. There was a little bit of thought to it. You have the GW dad, and of course he has the most liberal daughter, and then he makes ridiculous lines like, "Oh, you want the terrorists win, Haley? Do you like shaving your armpits? That'll be the first thing to go." I mean,
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I like
I don't
that.
know. See, agreed. I like the setups, but
gotta
I
remember,
thought the
though.
jokes weren't that good. Like,
Right,
again,
it's-
but I'm coming from a position. Don, have you watched the show?
I love the
for a
show.
long
I think it's a great show. And I actually
Okay, so you
remember
have.
watching that show a long time ago because the
Well,
episode, I remembered parts of it, but I didn't remember how, for a pilot of a cartoon, they
well, let me
introduced
tell
each
you.
person, but
Let me
and then
finish
they
my
each had
story
their own little
because,
storyline that was really woven well. Like it,
well, look
they were
again.
doing stuff. It wasn't just like one
Yeah.
guy putzing around. Like I've seen live TV shows that didn't have as much depth to the story. Not that it was, very deep, but like the way that they were trying to make each character do something.
Well, agreed.
Um,
That was the strength of the show.
that was good.
And like I
That
said,
was
like
good, yeah.
I just want to finish this story because I did watch the pilot with one of the writers of the show, which was fascinating because, to your point, the lines, the way they worked in the backstories was good, right? Roger subtly coming through and going, "Oh, you think if you save a guy's life at Roswell, he'd treat you well." Didn't make a big deal of it. He dropped the line in the early part. Oh, now you know their history.
Yeah,
You didn't
he's
have to have
from Area
a
51.
crazy flashback bullshit with him and his sister for 20 fucking minutes to get that information perfect, right? You knew, we always talk about this, you knew exactly who each person was instantly in the show. Klaus, the fish, the German fish, kind of got better as he went along, but
No,
I thought it
so
was
I
funny
don't.
when
I
they showed the spear with the fish frame.
dude, he's always been pervy, but in that first episode when he's under and he goes, "I see your Klitschfischlaven," and he's like, and he says Klitschfischla, and you go, "Oh, this is hilarious!" And like even every character, even the fish, you get a little of a show who he is. Creepy
yeah.
fish likes the mom. The mom's also, you're like, who is the mom? She's a blonde chick, and then she has to tell her story on the on the intercom when he's going to save the son at the end.
Yeah, that was
And she's like
ridiculous.
telling a story of how
That was
she's
great.
like,
That
yeah,
was
like
great.
so the mom
He
is like
did commit
super
suicide.
slut. Yeah, like the way that they made each character's ability to like care about these stupid cartoons briefly was really good. I think that's why the show did well, because each character was easily developed. They all balance each other out, and there's good imagination too to make the alien. He's from the CIA. He's got like brain transferred animals. He's got an alien from. It's just way over the top.
I
It
also
was done
think
good.
like they didn't do the kind of the stereotypical characters for each one. Maybe it was at the time, but when you thought of the cartoons, you think, okay, the dad in the cartoon, you got Homer Simpson, Peter Griffin. They're
Exactly.
basically dumb oafs, right?
Yeah.
The girl, you had
This was a
Lisa
sexy
Simpson
dad.
and Meg were both like kind of smart, nerdy, whatever. The mom was the voice of common sense.
His dad is the best.
You know,
Right. Where Francine is retarded in these for
yeah.
the most part.
So I thought they kind of
I
didn't
do like
try to just
Francine, though.
replicate.
She's
I mean, in some
hilarious.
ways, it's replicating just the formula because you have a nuclear family, and then you have fucking an alien instead of Brian Griffin, and
Right.
but they were just the characters I thought were unique.
Yeah, they're
enough
good.
I don't remember any wisecracking drunk alien in any other show.
No,
wait a minute, Alf.
But he was superb.
He
But
was sober.
yeah,
I'll own this. When I watched the pilot at the guy's house, I was like, I didn't like it, and I hated Roger. Can I be more wrong in the history of humanity about a character? Roger, rewatching it, I'm like, Roger's the best character of the show.
Yeah, he's funny.
I went in thinking, I was like, oh, this is a retread of Family Guy. but with worse voice. Steve's voice in this is horrible.
It's like a better.
It's like watching the
Family
original
Guy.
Simpsons, though. Like the voices are so bad, the characters aren't developed. Roger's the one character that actually stands out as good over all the other ones in the show. So I was wrong about that. But it also looks like Garfield, right?
Like the animation style.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's not like
it looks like the comic Garfield.
Yeah.
Let's point that out. And I don't know, the jokes for me still didn't land like later seasons. And again, this is the pilot.
Yeah.
I accept that, but I was watching even now, loving the show. I love the show, except now it sucks again, but it was amazing for many, many years.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of like
the pilot. I'm like, I understand why I didn't like this show because I thought a lot of the jokes did not land, weren't that clever, weren't that funny.
No,
there were certain like Roger being like when he's Roger the alien's like fat and he falls off the chair and he's like, I'm sorry, not everybody can look like the aliens in James Cameron's movies.
That was a joke. Yeah,
that's very clever and hilarious.
There weren't,
but even Principal Lewis, I'm like,
he was
such
amazing.
A side character in the whole series. Like when Steve comes in and takes over his office, he's like, he can read.
Yeah, the system works. Yes. That's why I think the show, I liked it. It's been making fun of the government in a one way or another because Stan works for the CIA and his character is an overly enthusiastic Reagan character
they had a great
who works for the government, and all he does is want to like protect American interests and
abuse his power, right? Because Steve, the plot of the show is that Steve, who's a nerd, and his voice and character could be much better later on. But Steve wants to date a cheerleader who turns him down. And he's like, you need power. I'll rig the election for student president.
Yeah.
And Steve's like, you can do that, Dad? He's like, that's what the CIA does.
Exactly.
That was great. That was prime commentary.
They weren't doing like great one-liner jokes. It was just kind of a lot of character introduction and then just letting you know this guy works for the CIA. He will do anything for his country, and he doesn't care if it's below board.
Here's why I again rewatching it, loving certain seasons of the show. I loved this show because I will laugh out loud at certain seasons, certain episodes. Did you laugh out loud at one joke in the pilot?
I think I did. I got to remember it though. Might take me a second.
I don't know because
I've
also seen the pilot multiple times.
Yeah.
So I skipped the first season because I know it's not good.
Well, I remember watching the show.
Not the first season. Halfway through the first season becomes decent.
I watched the show since it came. I'm not now, but for like the first 7 years from the pilot episode on, I watched it. So
I liked when he was
clearly good enough to get me to keep watching it at the time it premiered, and I've seen the pilot episode multiple times since. So I'm not going to crack out loud on a joke I've heard like 5 or 6 times.
Well, but that's the thing for me. I watched the pilot like I don't know how I got back into it. I've told my buddy, his name is Matt McKenna, again, writer on the show. He and Chris McKenna, his brother, wrote some of the funniest episodes, but I don't know how I got back into the show because I didn't like it.
I think because it left a while, and then there was a
no, it didn't. Not Family Guy left. Family Guy left and came back. American Dad.
I think American Dad started showing new episodes on TBS. And
that was like season 9.
Way later. Yeah, it's way later.
Okay.
No. American Dad.
We're watching it after the NFL on Sunday.
The prime seasons of American Dad are like 2. Maybe it started 2 through season
5 or 6.
Maybe no. Season 7's a banger. Maybe through 9. Incredible.
That's a long time for the same.
Oh no, it's
boring
amazing
premise, right? Like
that's what I'm saying. Like going back and watching episode 1, I'm like, I could see. I still say this. I stand by it as a lover of the show who hates it now because it's been taken over by fucking mongoloids and dipshits who don't know what's funny. watching the first episode, I could see why I didn't continue to watch it.
I did continue to watch it. I think I liked it, but it could also just been because it had a good lead in, like maybe The Simpsons or The Family Guy back in the old days.
It was on Sunday nights, I remember.
Yeah, and that's a good night. Animation domination.
Before you had Netflix and not a whole lot to do on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
You're not flipping to other things. So
I mean, like I said, I still don't. I watching it back now. I still just.
I remember.
I feel the same way. I give it a C-. I feel the same way. I don't think it was that funny.
I like it. I like it more than Family Guy. I'll say that. Because to me, it's like I'm watching a funnier Family Guy with a better, like, kind of setting.
All right. So next episode, should we do 2 old shows, Family Guy and 2.5 Men?
We're gonna just ruin the theme of the show. Sure.
We'd have to watch.
Yeah.
Why don't we do this? What if we could do Family Guy, or we could do the second episode of 2.5 Men, and then we talk about episode 1 and 2.
That even more thoroughly ruins the premise of this show.
Well, but then sometimes the pilot is a lot different than the second episode.
That's the whole point. Thank you, Rico. That's literally the goddamn point of the show, Don. That's why we talk about the first episode, because the first episodes are so different than the other episodes.
Well, there you go. We do a deep dive, an in-depth explanation.
Oh, a deep dive like a bunker bomber, Don, you Jew.
It wasn't the Jews that flew. It was the Americans.
Did you see that there, like, how there's like all the fake Trump posts that people put on Twitter, but they're
those are
believable that he said, but he didn't actually say it. Like the one I just saw
are believable.
Trump's tweet was, contrary to popular opinion, I did not try to drop Chris Christie on the Iran nuclear sites. The B-52s need to be able to take off. And I'm like, is this real? I'm probably not real, but I can see it being real.
American Dad writers, take notes.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Anyway, we got to wrap this up. What do you give American Dad episode 1?
I'm giving it a B+. Because like I said, I enjoyed it at the time. I enjoyed it now. It's definitely not as funny as it became, but it was certainly good enough for me to want to keep watching.
Yeah. I'm giving it solid B. Great show. Very funny. I think the way that they kind of repackaged The Simpsons and Family Guy into this new version was better than the 2 older versions, and it obviously held up for a while. They did it, and one of the things I also liked is when they introduced new characters. One of my favorite characters on the show was his boss, who was that bald dude, Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
He is one of the best. Yes. He's like, honestly, Patrick Stewart is Bullock. Patrick Stewart is up there with Danny DeVito in the greatest characters, voiced by the greatest actors of our time.
That's when I go, oh man, they got this guy and he's saying vulgar shit. This is hilarious. And they just talk about shooting people and making fun of people, and like they're shooting their guns off in the office.
Oh my God. Patrick
it gets
Stewart
good. It's a good show.
Guy.
It's a great show.
I respect I love Patrick Stewart so much. I gained so much more respect for Patrick Stewart when he took on the role of Bullock and Family Guy, being the most insane, ridiculous, coke-addicted character. It's great. He's like,
who does his daughter eventually, I think.
Oh, he fucks Stan's daughter. He just terrible. All the craziest fucking bullshit. Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go home and party my face off. He goes to his house and he's just shooting machine guns off and banging this young prostitute. He's like, I don't know, my wife's dead, but I'm having a time. Things going great for me. It's actually Patrick Stewart doing the voice. It's
actually like, it's not exactly how men would act in certain situations, but not far away how guys feel.
They also drew the character to look like Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, exactly like him, like Captain Picard in Star Trek, with big nice pecs and the same hair.
My favorite scene with him is when he's driving Stan around in a new little convertible he got, and he does the windshield wipers and it sprays them and he goes, "She's a squitter." It's so good. It's a great show. So yeah,
I like the one where
I'll change it to a B.
not to go the path of just telling stories about our favorite quotes, but I look at Patrick Stewart also as Stan turns into a woman at one point in time because he's sick of hearing his wife talk and they tone him out. So he takes a pill the CIA develops to listen to his wife, but he takes too many and it turns him into a woman. And then
it's a side effect.
Patrick Stewart, aka Bullock, tries to fuck Stan.
Yeah, of course.
It's like, bro, have you never imagined if one of us turned into a woman and we had a Boston situation and what would happen? And he tries to fuck him. I love it. What a great show. Anyway, Rico, what's your grade? Wait, Dom, what was your grade?
I gave it a B. Rico gave it a B plus.
All right.
What do you give it?
I give it a C minus.
Ooh,
I know, but you know, I came around. I love this show. I love this show so much. It makes me fucking furious how shitty it has become in recent years. It was funny because there was this whole big campaign they did, America Dad, even more extreme when we went to TBS. No, it became way woker, way stupider, way fucking more tame. They do nothing that's interesting. It's the worst, shittiest writing. Haley's the main character, the worst character of the show in half the fucking episodes. Dog shit. This show became
a must miss.
Shit.
Must miss, America.
It literally, they ruined a wonderful show, and it breaks my fucking heart.
Oh, it's terrible.
All right, so next episode, here's what I propose. We could do Family Guy.
All right.
But we do owe the people 2.5 Men. So let's go 2.5 Men. And new show on Apple TV. Gotta love this. Suicide survivor Owen Wilson.
That's a show?
In a show called Stick about golf.
What's that on?
I don't have Apple TV. Because
really?
Yeah, you might have to pick a second.
Do you not have an Apple phone?
What's that? No, of course I do, but it didn't come with Apple TV. It came with a bill.
Yeah.
Well, figure it out, nerds, because we're watching Stick on Apple TV.
Yeah,
that's the new show. That's the new hot. Or The Waterfront. No, that's June 19th.
What about that Department Q? Everyone's talking about that on Netflix.
Everyone?
Or is it two?
Talk about it.
Everyone. This one guy I know.
Department Q.
It's like a cop show.
All right. Let's do Department Q.
Ooh. Yes.
All right.
I won.
Done. Department Q and 2.5 Men.
A Q and a 2. Sounds good.
A Q and a 2. All right. Well, that'll do it for our show tonight, guys.
Everyone's exhausted now. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Happy 4th of July. Rico's not flying out. Don's not flying out. My beer park tournament's canceled. Not enough people in town. Sad.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to visit the West Coast.
It was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good, though.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!